Craig goes out and fights Shogun in Brazil, and Shogun says he's got 2 fights left. Now, that's kind of been an ongoing joke because when Shogun got married, he told his wife, I got 2 fights left and I'm done. That was 12 years ago. So he now swears, no, I'm really at 2 fights left. I'm going to fight Paul Craig. I'm going to do 1 more and we're done. And I believe him this time. There was just something about it where I think he's telling the truth, but he goes and fights at home. They go all 3 rounds. And I swear to goodness, he got the Tennessee screw job while in Sao Paulo. I don't know how that happens. One judge has, so the final decision was a majority draw. What that means is one judge picks a winner, 2 judges have it a draw, the majority says draw. Okay. I have to explain this. Some people get confused on what a majority draw is. Sometimes they think that means 1 judge for Craig and 1 judge for Shogun, or 1 judge picks a draw, which would also be a draw, but it wouldn't be a majority draw. Explaining the distinction for you, but I haven't the foggiest idea how they came to that conclusion. There was 1 judge that scored this fight 28-28, which means he had to have a 10-8 round in there for Craig. If there was no round in there, you could give a 10-8 for Craig. Never once did he come close to finishing the fight. Never once did he knock Shogun down, which is supposedly the definition for how you come up with a 10-8 round. In MMA, I have to use a word like supposedly because it's not as broad of a stroke as boxing. Boxing, guy goes down, other guy doesn't, 10-8. In MMA, it's not that way, but there is suggestions and there is precedence that's put in place. If you score one of those rounds 10-8 for Craig, I mean, that should almost be the litmus test that you just simply can't do this work. It was stunning. It was very much stunning for me, not only that it was a majority draw, but that somebody slipped in a 10-8 round there. I think they have a little bit of an explanation. Move on to the main event. You've got Jacare and Jan, and this fight was criticized because it was a little bit lackluster. Now, to explain what that means, and that's never a fair criticism, I think that always comes back to the argument that I personally stand on, which is no fight should be 25 minutes because they're boring, right? And they just are. They're inherently, that's too long to go and do something like this. To which, when I say that, somebody brings in, the rear zombie fight, or somebody sticks, Mark Hunt, Bigfoot Silva in my ass, and then I'm left standing there looking like a fool. But I think for the most part, 25 minutes, okay. Jacare did what Jacare does, which is go out there, be very grappling heavy, and try to get the fight to the ground. What happened when he failed to get the fight to the ground is he at least got partway there, which is he got the fight to the fence. Now, up against the fence is a very tactical chess match that I will fully admit to you is not all that pleasing to watch for the viewer. They don't really know what's going on there. They don't really understand where the hips are, the head position game, the underhook game, the foot stomps, the knee. They don't really see it. And the ones that do don't really appreciate it. It's a little bit close quarters, right? There's a reason they don't fight in a phone booth. It's just hard to see what's going on. It's hard to get too much action going there. I understand it. But that's what happened. Jacare went out there, took his game plan, and executed it. It's a 2-man sport. Jan was able to get some more powerful shots. He showed some excellent takedown defense. Ultimately, 25 minutes later, it gets turned over to the judges, and it went to Jan. I did not disagree with that decision. I saw a lot of people that did. I thought that was the right decision. I thought it was kind of clearly the right decision. But at the end of the day, I do think that Jacare prepared properly in a brand new weight class, and he executed his plan. He went out there, he stayed focused to the plan. Sometimes you don't lose a fight, guys. Sometimes time just runs out.
I take my shots when I want 'em. My name's Chael Sonnen, and I never lost a round. I always competed. They know me around the world to be undefeated.